What's up, guys? Today I'll be doing a review of these Cheerwing Pro boxing gloves, so stay tuned.
Uber up the styles like miles and shit. Like 60s funky worms with waves and perms. Just sending junky rhythms right.
Alright guys, so today I have these Cheerwing Pro boxing gloves. These are a Amazon exclusive. They also sell through their cheerwing.com website. They are a Chinese brand. And these are one of the more budget-minded entry-level gloves you can get, made out of a synthetic microfiber leather material. That's actually really similar to the material that's used on the Fly X range products, both in terms of the way it feels and just the look of it. So the actual feel and the grain and the thickness is very similar to what I found in my Fly X range gloves, to give you guys a close-up. But for being $29, I mean, it's a really good glove. It's probably one of the best budget, starting off kind of gloves you can get if you're starting off into boxing or combat sports that you can get. And I'll go in more detail in the review here in a second, but overall I was pretty impressed for being 29 bucks. As you can see here, it has an attached thumb. Velcro closure. It doesn't come in lace up. I got these in 16 and they do have them on other sizes as well. But you can see here, pretty basic boxing glove with the synthetic right there. Kind of give you guys a nice look at how the thumbs look compared to each other, as well as the finger compartment. And let's check out the weight. See how much these weigh. And right at 14.5 for the right glove and 14.5 for the left. So in terms of being identical in weight, that's a good thing, but they're about an ounce and a half off. Again, I'm not a big critic when it comes to weight on training gloves, but these would probably be better suited to be advertised as 14-ounce gloves rather than 16-ounce, just because they're closer to that weight. So on to the review. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'll be doing a review of these Cheerwing Pro 16-ounce Velcro training gloves. Got mine in the blue color scheme. They only come in Velcro closure, currently do not come in lace up. You can get them anywhere from 10 to 16 ounces, and they come in blue, black, red, pink, and yellow. So you have a good assortment of sizes and colors you can choose from. Now, Cheerwing is a company based out of China, and ironically, they actually make a lot of electronics like RC cars, RC boats, and drones. And they just so happen to make a boxing glove, which is kind of odd, but whatever, it is what it is. And this glove is actually a pretty nice glove for an entry-level, budget-minded glove. One thing you notice is the design of the glove is pretty compact, and it does use a microfiber leather. Now my first impression of this material that they use, it really reminds me of the Fly Super Lace X gloves I did a review on. in terms of both the way the leather looks, feel, and even smells. The consistency of it, the grain, I'm trying to give you guys a nice close-up of that, really has that look. Now, I've done a lot of reviews on some other budget-minded equipment, and typically the synthetic material they use is a lot thinner than what's on this glove. It's a lot thinner, and after like 1 or 2 uses, it really tears from the stitching, or some of the areas that are have a lot of stress. You'll start noticing some tearing around here. But these, I've used these for about a week and a half. Use them for quite a bit on the heavy bag, on some pretty dense heavy bags and some softer filled heavy bags, and they've held up pretty well. So you can see the material I was talking about. It has kind of a nice shine to it. Has a little bit of a texture of a grain to it to kind of give you that synthetic leather look to it. And but overall, really nice. Now, design-wise, again, it is a more compact style glove. You do have the Cheerwing logo that's imprinted right here with the cheerwing.com. You can also get these through Amazon. 16-ounce weight tag, stitched on the back right here on the Velcro closure. They do have this Cheerwing logo on the back. I'm not really a big fan of the way this looks. It just looks a little overdone to me. I wish that they just left this logo and remove all these little white lines. I think it would look cleaner with just that Cheerwing logo right here in the middle. It looks like a Spartan head or Spartan helmet. So if it was me, this is my opinion, if I were to get this, I would have rotated the Spartan helmet to be, you know, up and down that way, remove these lines, and it would look really clean and classy in my opinion. But outside of that, that's really the only thing that designates this as a Cheerwing product. It has a Velcro closure. The thumb is really comfortable on this. I don't let the actual looks fool you. It does look like it kind of comes out and is in an awkward position, but when you actually put your hand in here, it is pretty comfortable. The finger compartment is nice and deep right there, so I really like that. You can really put your hand in a natural position to make a fist. Now, the actual quality of these gloves are good. You have that inside polyester microfiber. It's almost like a satin liner on the inside to give you that nice cool feel, and just feels really comfortable against your skin. You do have the tag here that shows that it's made in China, Cheerwing. But the stitching on this glove actually looks really good. I like how they reinforced the strap right here that comes down along. But you can see the strap and the piping is done really nicely. It has really good Velcro that attaches on the back, so you get a nice locking feel right there. Stitching on the palm looks really good. You do have an elastic piece right here that keeps the glove together when you put your hands in, especially if you have hand wraps on. That kind of opens the palm up a little bit and stretches it out. That kind of keeps everything together. Piping on the thumb looks really good. Stitching all along the thumb, all the way to the tip, looks really good. Everything is tucked in nicely. You do have an attached thumb. I like how they used the synthetic material and didn't go with like a cheap piece of nylon right there. So that's a nice extra touch. You do have the ventilated holes where the grip bar is at. You have about a medium-sized grip bar right there that doesn't collapse. It has a nice firmness to it. And then the stitching on the sides looked really good. Typically the areas where you find a lot of areas where the stitching and kind of they cut corners with this glove actually looks really good. Stitching along where the thumb meets the back of the palm, or the back of the hand, should I say, excuse me, looks really good. And no bumps or any deformations with the actual foam or the synthetic material, the microfiber leather, even after using these for about a week and a half extensively. So everything's held up pretty well. Now the comfort of the glove, putting my hands in right away, actually feels really comfortable. I like the compact feel of it. Kind of reminds me of my Sawboss Pro Series in terms of just how form-fitting it is. You put your hand in there. The thumb's in a nice position. At first it was a little bit tight around here with my hand wraps on, but about 3 training sessions in, this actually kind of loosened up and I don't have any discomfort. My thumb doesn't jam at the top. It's in a nice position. And my fingertips feel really good as well. The grip bar is really nicely right here tucked into my hand. My fingertips actually have an extra piece of material, feels like neoprene, that's on the tip of the fingers to kind of give you that extra grip that you want when you make a fist. Now, the downside to this glove with the kind of foam they use in here, they use a triple layer of foam between both a foam and a latex, is that it's super stiff. Now, if you see here, I can't really even open my hands to parry a shot because of how stiff the foam they used on this glove is. You can see just trying to open my hand, it's really hard. So I wish they may have reformulated the way they incorporated the triple layer foam to give it a little bit more flexibility that you find with more broken in gloves like some Rivals, Grants, and some of the other Mexican style brands that when you put your hand in there, even the flies, you can open your hand and close them with relative ease. With these gloves, you really have to pull your hand open to parry a shot. So trying to parry shots in these would be really hard to do. But other than that, the comfort feels really good. My hand doesn't feel like it squirrels around on the inside of the glove because it's nice and compact. If you do have longer fingers or bigger hands, it might be a little bit tight for you, so keep that in mind. This is the largest size they have, which is 16 ounces. I have medium-sized hands, and they feel perfect on me. They're not too tight, not too small. So you might be able to get away with having a little bit larger hands than mine and still being comfortable, but if you do have super long fingers or just big hands in general, they might be a little bit tight for you, so keep that in mind. Comfort-wise, they feel really good. The wrist support is about 1/8 of an inch of cushion right here on the inside wrist. I wish they would have put a little bit more padding on the inside here to give it a little bit more security, and then about a 1/2 inch of padding on the back wrist, so you got a little bit of support right there on the hinge point. Now the balance of the gloves, they feel really well balanced. I don't feel like it's too top heavy. I feel like they distributed the amount of weight throughout the glove evenly. Only thing I wish is that the weight was accurate. With being a 16-ounce glove, obviously you want it to be a little bit closer. For me personally, training gloves, I'm not a big critic when it comes to it needing to be 0.01 ounces exactly on weight. It's just one of those things that people look for when they are looking for an accurate weight on a glove that's advertised. Now, the actual performance of these gloves, they're definitely more of a protective glove. And I say that because you can see how the actual triple layer foam absorbs shock really well. I mean, you can really land some power shots on the bag, and this does a really nice job of dispersing the shock because of the triple layer foam. The only issue is that this foam is super stiff at first, so it's going to take a break-in period. It almost reminds me of IMF injected molded foam, where when you first get the gloves, the actual padding on the knuckle area is just super stiff and like a rock. And it takes quite a few sessions to really just get that foam to really just sink in and really soften up. And this is kind of the same case with these gloves. You'll definitely have to use these on the heavy bag in training to really soften them up. They're definitely ideal for the heavy bag, especially if you have some issues with hand injuries and you still want to spend a lot of money on some higher end gloves. They're definitely not a puncher's glove. If you're looking for something that has a lot more feedback, you want your knuckles to really sink in, you want to really feel that connecting type feel. These gloves really don't offer that. They're more of a protective style glove at a budget price. Now, speaking of price, these gloves are actually $29, so 30 bucks. You can get them through Amazon, that's where I got mine from, or you can go through the Cheerwing website. And at that price point, these are probably the best gloves I've tried for $30, or for any glove that's $30 and under. This probably is the best glove I've used so far in that price range, just based on the material they use on here. They use a little bit of a higher end synthetic material. The hand compartment is really comfortable. It doesn't feel like it's kind of like a cheap glove that you put on. It just feels like the ergonomics are way off. The only opportunities I would say with this glove would be the actual layering of the foam, so it's not so stiff. That way you can open your hand a little bit more. You can just how stiff that is, and I think that would be a big opportunity. If they can loosen that up and maintain the same level of protection, or offer a version of this glove that's a little bit more of a punchy style glove where they use a little bit softer foam, but you can feel the shots more when you hit the bag, and then you would have definitely a home run winner with that, especially at the price point of $30. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Cheerwing boxing gloves. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.